This is the Idavox Report.
Hello all, how you be? This is Daryle Lamont Jenkins, and right over there is, well, he's gone now, Brian Powers, and below me is Christian Perez, and this is the Idavox Report on tour, or at least for me, I'm on tour.
How you doing today, Daryle?
I'm doing all right. I'll be a lot better if my phone wouldn't keep going off. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Daryle Lamont Jenkins. I turned off my phone so I can talk to you better. And it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and we're here to share them with you. We've been trying to get guests on the show for a while, but all these technical difficulties keep coming up. So it's just like we want to take our time as we slide on in, and there's always a lot of stuff to talk about without guests. Hopefully next week we'll have something for you in the way of guests. We got a lot of planned. I mean, we've already talked to you about not-for-profit showing up here, and we're going to be doing that. Hopefully we'll probably be pre-recording that on Saturday, so got to hit him up. But we got some other stuff planned too. So what we was going to basically do today is just shoot the shit. Y'all don't mind?
No, I don't mind. I love a nice chat.
So we wanted to talk about but see, here's the fun part about a show such as this. When we're trying to get things situated, we can just hit you with a video to watch for the next 8 minutes. and that's what we're gonna do. Brian, are you all right? I don't think he's. I mean, because I know he said he was having technical difficulties as well. So, yeah, he's saying that he's particularly choppy, and so if he comes on, he comes on. If not. I mean, he did warn us before the episode, before we aired, that things are going to be fufukaka. So, so hopefully y'all are here with us. If you're not here with us, don't worry. We'll get you here with us soon enough, because I do know that on the Idavox website, you do not have the video just yet. But if you refresh your feed, if you refresh the Idavox front page, like right now, you should be able to see it like right now. Like right this very minute as we speak, because the old episode of Idavox Report, which is still listed as September 21st, and it shouldn't be, so let me go back to that, is now up. And today is actually September 28th, and we hope you guys enjoyed your day today. How you been, Christian?
You know, I've been okay, just basically working, trying to keep my head above water. I'm not really doing too bad right now. I've been looking forward to tonight, having a chat. I'm hoping we can get some of these guests to come on the air. I'm really looking forward to a talk with not-for-profit. But for the most part, I'm doing pretty well.
Good. And yeah, we do have a lot of things planned, and it's nobody's fault but our own. You wanted to talk incidentally about tonight. You want to talk about 40 Ways to Fight Fascists, the Pop Bob Spencer Sunshine flyer, or not flyer,
pamphlet
that they put out to help people understand how we can do this if you're going to be active out there trying to deal with fascists in the street. And if you have bought anything from One People's Project over the past year or so, we included with your order the pamphlet 40 Ways to Fight Fascists, Street Legal Tactics for community activists. Now, like I said, it was put out by Spencer Sunshine in collaboration with Pop Mob. Pop Mob is a collective that puts together a lot of street activism out in Portland, and you know how hot Portland can be. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. Brian wanted to talk about music, but alas, he's having problems. We can still talk about music, but I'm really depressed because the reason why I'm in Raleigh is because I was going to see a show, and I think I probably even mentioned I was going to see a show last week, and the show didn't get canceled. It just never was booked. I'll just put it like that. A long story, and I'm not putting names out there because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. And but I'm here enjoying the company of friends of mine whose house I'm staying in right now. I'll be here for about a week. Another show. We was actually supposed to see two shows because we was actually supposed to see a group called Max Sabbath.
Okay. What are they, like a Scottish Aussie tribute band?
Oh no. Oh no, not Scottish. Mac Sabbath. McDonald's themed.
Okay, that was going to be my next guess. That was going to be my next guess, but I didn't
what
want
it
to
is.
say. Oh boy!
And damn it, if they aren't good.
Did anybody dress up like the Hamburglar, Mayor McCheese, or?
We could probably find something on YouTube with them on it. Let me see if they got something because I was going to see. They was going to see them. We was going to see. Yeah, actually. They got a song that covers War Pigs, but instead of War Pigs, it's more ribs.
Gotta love that McRib.
Oh yes, so they actually have a YouTube account if you ever want to see them for yourself. Mac Sabbath. Trust me when I say it's worth checking out. He got songs called "Chicken for the Slaves," "Sweet Beef."
On the 10th, I'm hoping to go to PNC to go see Killswitch Engage with Slipknot. Yeah. I mean, if you want to meet me there, PNC.
The 10th?
It's a Sunday.
Oh, man.
It's a good lineup. There's a couple other bands that are going to be. I'm going to go see Killswitch. I see Killswitch every time they come.
You said
around.
On the 10th over at PNC?
It's October 10th, Sunday, PNC. It's not fest, so it's going to be Slipknot headlining.
Oh. Okay.
And then there's a couple other bands that are going to be supporting. But I go see Killswitch Engage every time they're in New Jersey. So they're one of my favorite bands, and they always have a lot of energy. All their songs are good. But you should meet me there, man. We'll go. We'll see a couple. Couple bands.
It's tempting. It's tempting. That's how much are tickets?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I got to look into tickets. I'm probably going to go see.
That's Sunday at 5:30. It's Slipknot, Killswitch Engage, Fever 333, and Code Orange.
Yeah.
Oh,
Code Orange.
Man, I really want to see them.
I've never seen Code Orange. I've never seen Slipknot. So, I mean, I'd like to scratch them off the list. And then in March, my buddy and I bought tickets. We're going to go to Starland, and we're going to go see Glassjaw. Glassjaw is going to be doing worship. They're going to be, I think it's going to be Worship and Tribute and Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Silence. They're going to be playing those albums in their entirety.
Yeah, so I don't know those bands.
Oh, okay, yeah. Glassjaw is good. They're a throwback. Yeah, they're a throwback to like.
I mean, I've heard of Glassjaw.
Yeah,
but I don't know Glassjaw.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. I mean, like they're not really like anybody. They don't really sound like anybody. I mean, I would liken them to Deftones. Not that they sound like Deftones, they don't. But in that they don't really sound like anybody else. They kind of just have their own sound. They were on Roadrunner. The lead singer was in a band called He was in a band called Head Automatica for a minute.
I know that band.
Yeah. So I mean, that'll be a fun show too. It's a throwback to. I really got into them about 10, 11 years ago, but they were big like 20 years ago when I was in undergrad and college. Man, I'm a sucker for any of those Roadrunner bands. Anybody that was on Roadrunner records in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, I'm a sucker for all of those bands. Soulfly, Sepultura, all that stuff.
And I always you say Sepultura with the soft R. I always say it's Sepultura
Sepultura, yeah.
because my boy when I was working at Tower Records back in like 91 and all that, I had my friend who got me into Sepultura was Brazilian himself.
Yeah, of course.
So I pronounce it that way.
the real way, yeah, Sepultura. Yeah, they're just awesome, dude. Especially when they were with Max, and then Max went off to go start Soulfly, all that stuff. Anything
man,
Max Cavalera does, I'm a fan of.
Soulfly is just like the band everybody goes to, man. Whenever they leave, they say, "Look, I got to keep my chops up, so I'm joining Soulfly.
I'm gonna play with Soulfly for a minute." They've had a revolving door. They had the guitarist from El Nino. They had Roy Mayorga, Logan Fowler, just a couple guys. And they had like the bass player from Gojira. Like, there's a couple people swimming in and out of there. Yeah, Nail Bomb, Sepultura, Soulfly, Cavalera Conspiracy, all that stuff. I love all of it.
Shoot, I missed it. I mean, we was gonna see. Well, I don't want to say who we was gonna see because like I said, I might ruffle some feathers. But there were bands that I would have wanted to see together. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's not happening. And Max Sabbath had canceled out on us for some reason. So, but this Killswitch Engage gig with Slipknot, I mean, they just lost the drummer in Slipknot. Former drummer at the time, or was he in the band still?
I think he was still in the band. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they lost their bass player and drummer to stupid shit. So it's like Slipknot, that is. But it's so funny because I'm kind of like loyal to Mushroom Head.
Oh man, okay.
You know what? No. You see, I mean, I love Slipknot, but
Mushroom Head's a little bitter about the whole mask thing, and they've been playing it for like 20 years. Yeah,
they came first. I mean, I remember when they started it. See, Mushroom Head was a side project. I was living in Cleveland when Mushroom Head was big there, and there alone. Yeah. You know. And they were still like underground and everything. And there was the side project for a couple of other bands. The lead singer, Jason, he was had another band called Unified Culture. I still have the demo.
Oh, nice.
And I interviewed Unified Culture for a magazine. I don't think the article ever got published, but I got a chance to see them play a couple of times. They were supposed to open, and this is how I saw Marilyn Manson for the first time too, because they were supposed to open up for Marilyn Manson in Cleveland, but Manson's people took them off the bill because the last time they played, they opened up for Manson, and remember, Manson at this time was also still underground. They brought more people than Manson did.
I saw that at a show once. It wasn't pretty.
No, it's not pretty when you bring more people than the headliner.
Yeah.
And I went to you're talking about a bill, and this was 95. This was 95, and it was Marilyn Manson. I mean, no. The lineup was, Mushroom Head was supposed to play but didn't. Clutch, a band no one
El Jefe, El Primo de los Matadors. They call me El Jefe. I love that song.
They're good. I didn't like them live then, though.
I saw them once live. I'm not like a huge Clutch fan. I like that one song, El Jefe Speaks. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I love their music. It just wasn't feeling them live. Yeah. And then Hansel und Gretel.
Never heard of them before.
German. If you notice that I pronounced it in like a German accent, because they are very German. It wasn't Hansel and Gretel. It was Hansel und Gretel.
Und Gretel.
Two women, and I think they had a guy drummer, and they were hard as rocks, man.
I went to a show at the old Birch Hill nightclub. Remember Birch Hill nightclub back in the day?
Yeah, that was the second place. A couple of months later, I saw Marilyn Manson.
Okay, so I went to Birch Hill nightclub or Birch Hill Country Club, whichever the heck, whatever time of day you were there. And the headliner was Kitty. Remember the all-female metal band?
Kittie?
Yes, and they had a couple good songs. Like
they were good. They were good.
If you want a really heavy song, check out "Pain" by Kitty. That song is awesome. But the problem is, it was El Nino. El Nino's a Jersey band. They very much came up on the Jersey underground scene. And El Nino comes out. This is their first album, and they killed it, like just tore the place down. And Christian Machado, the singer, he gets on the mic. He says, all right, we're going to our tour bus. If you want to come hang out with us, you can. He's like, you can't come on the bus, but you can come hang out. Everybody left the place.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it was. Everybody just dipped out to go hang out with El Nino. Another time I went to
actually El Nino, I never got a chance to see El Nino play, but man, back in the day,
yeah, dude, that first album, they were like baby Soulfly, right? Their guitarist went off to go play for Soulfly. Their drummer played for Soulfly, Dave Shafari. He was in a band called Propane. Also, I'm sure you heard of
Propane. I saw them play over in Asbury Park, the convention center, because there was this massive kind of like, well, it wasn't a metal show. I mean, we will call it a metal show now, but it was basically, we will call it a new metal show now, as a matter of fact. But they were, but it was like a series of bands that were playing at the time. We just called them hardcore in many respects, or industrial. Propane was one of the bands. Biohazard, Overkill, who was metal, Bile, Misfits. And Misfits, not with Mike Hideous with them playing, somebody else.
Michael Graves?
I don't even know if it was Michael Graves. It could have been, because this guy was a skinny dude.
Maybe it was the other guy.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't somebody I recognized. That's for damn sure. Murphy's Law played. Dog Eat Dog played. Downset played.
Oh, wow.
Anger, hostility towards the opposition. Anger, hostility towards the opposition. For those who don't know Downset, look at Brian's face, how Brian's face froze when I hope that was a reaction to Downset. Because Downset was, I mean, everybody keeps looking at them as ripping off Rage Against the Machine, not realizing that Rage Against the Machine and Downset pretty much came up the same in the same scene with the same style. And there was a lot of bands like that back in the day on the West Coast. So Downset wasn't ripping off Rage Against the Machine, but damn, if you don't know Downset, no, check them out. They're on YouTube. Look for that song Anger.
Anger? I have to look that one up.
We should. I would love to. I would love to pump it. I would love to pump it, but it'd probably get a strike. Brian, why are you making all those faces? You trying to say something? Can you hear?
Yeah, man. I love Downset. I used to listen to that. Oh, God.
Yeah, it sucks that you're breaking up like this, man.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check them out.
If you turn, can you say, Brian, if you turn off your camera, will your audio come in better? Because I want to hear what you got to say about Downset. Nah, he can't hear us. Shit. All right, but no, yeah, there was some stuff that was going on. I mean, there was some good music coming out, and I would love to see this Killswitch Engage show. So you might see me at that show.
Man.
Because Killswitch Engage, I mean, I liked them. I was on board with Howard Jones. I was on board with Howard Jones, and then he had to leave because he wasn't doing well. Man, I mean, I love the new lead singer.
He's actually the original. So there was Jesse Leach, and Jesse Leach did the first album with them. Okay. And then Jesse left after the first album, and then Howard.
I did not realize.
Yeah, okay. Jesse left, and so Jesse's lyrics in the first album are probably my favorite. Then the second album, Howard came out, and Howard, in my opinion, he's just a better singer. Like his voice is better, he's more powerful. And I liked his songs on the second album. He was with a band called Blood Has Been Shed. So he left Blood Has Been Shed. Yeah, and they're awesome. You check out my TikTok for Blood Has Been Shed. So he went to Killswitch. He did some demos with Killswitch, and they were like, it's got to be him. They took on Howard, and they did like their second, third, and fourth albums with Howard. And then Howard had some personal issues. So now Jesse's back. And they had a song, I think last year, where they're both singing together. They have a couple songs where they sing together. And
video.
It's that's what they need to do. They need to bring Howard back and just go on tour with both singers and have them go back and forth. I would kill for that.
Because the Signal Fire, that was the name of the song.
Signal Fire, yep.
I mean, I check this out on YouTube. I've never teared up so much looking at a metal video, man. I mean, when I saw the two of them up there, I was just like, and like I said, I love Jesse. What's his name? Jesse
Leach.
Jesse Leach. I gotta say, I gotta remember his name because as much as I love Howard Jones, Jesse Leach deserves his props. And
do you know why you're gonna love Jesse Leach? You know what his favorite bands was when he was in high school?
What?
Inside Out was Zach Del Roca from
Inside Out. Did he play with Zach?
No, he was a fan. He just was a fan of Inside Out as a kid. Yeah. No, he didn't play. I think he was too young at that point.
Yeah, had to have been. You're right.
I love Kiss.
There was a lot of good bands. I mean, see what happened for those who are familiar with what's called nu metal from about 20 years ago. That was basically the hardcore scene back in the 90s. You know, I mean, that was what you would go hear, like Agnostic Front, Madball.
See, I call that hardcore. That's all hardcore to me.
Yeah, that's all hardcore.
Nu metal to me is like Korn. Yeah.
But nu metal for me comes out of that.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the bands, you think about it, Biohazard, they call that nu metal. Biohazard definitely comes out of the hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And
Biohazard is hardcore. It's always been hardcore.
Always.
You know, do you know what the coolest thing Biohazard did? That you should know this.
Mm-hmm.
Touring with Onyx. That was
Knew you was going to bring up Onyx.
I mean, you're going to bring up Biohazard, you have to bring up Onyx, man. I mean,
well, let's be real. If you're going to talk about hardcore, that style of hardcore, you're just going to have to recognize the fact that it comes, I mean, that is definitely married to the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
Because it definitely, Biohazard loves itself some hip hop. They've had Cypress Hill.
Evan Seinfeld doesn't even really sing. He kind of raps. Like if you listen to Punishment, he's not even really singing in that song. He's kind of just rapping.
Mm-mm.
And Onyx was the inspiration for a whole generation.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did you see that Scott Ian from Anthrax got he got the Public Enemy tattooed on his arm, the Public Enemy logo?
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, because he's they're boys, but he's apparently like, yeah, we've been friends for so long. He got the Public Enemy tattoo
for that. And it's but listen, the hardcore scene and hip hop scene always seems to come together. Remember, KRS-One was on a Sick of It All album.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I was working,
check that out.
When I was working at Tower Records, Tower Records was at 4th and Broadway. That's where it's a television studio now, that building. But I used to work in the cassette department, and KRS-One used to come down there all the time.
Nice.
And he was pointing out that he was in the Sick of It, the Sick of It All cassette. I was in the cassette department. That he was on, and I was just like, I remember my boy Tory Lloyd had hit me up to that. I was like, I'm gonna like me some Sick of It All. And the next thing you know,
awesome,
like about a year or so later, when they was playing Middlesex College, I was like right backstage. I was like behind the drummer while Sick of It All was playing and all that. So because there was no room up front, so I said, screw it, I'm back here. Screw it. They didn't.
Did you ever see the video for Potential for a Fall by Sick of It All? Oh my God, that might be my favorite music video of all time. The New York Street Survival video. Or did you see the Underground video where they're teaching all the different hardcore dances?
That's it. Yeah. Oh, man. The one windmill.
Yeah. Picking up change.
Man. Those years. I mean, come on. We're old cats that are missing the scene.
I don't care, man. Old school is the best, man. Like Sick of It All, Biohazard. Those.
Murphy's Law, even though they're right wing, Agnostic Front,
Madball, dude. Like I went to a show about 8 or 9, probably about 10 years ago. It was Madball and E-Town Concrete, and it was the shit, dude. It was
E-Town
awesome.
out of Elizabeth, New Jersey.
New Jersey, and then
Madball. So they were coming up, and they were on the college radio. We had a college radio station, 89.5 Pirate Radio. It's called, even though it's completely illegal. SOU. And WSOU always and E-Town Concrete they were coming up and kind of were starting to make a little bit of a name for themselves nationally. That was like the pride of metal as I was coming up and learning my chops with my band, man. It was their real inspiration. And I believe they hung around a little bit with Typo Negative. He was the lead singer of Typo. Yeah, he died a few years back. He thought he was a vampire and then did like 10 pounds of cocaine in one night. So, it wasn't really...
I saw. I don't want. I actually wasn't too far away from where he was buried because I had to go to a funeral in Long Island for my boy Andrew Green, who passed away back in August. And I was actually going to try to go over, like I said, I have one of those morbid curiosity things going, and I follow a YouTube channel called Hollywood Graveyard, and they had a viewers special where you can spotlight a grave, a famous grave that you want to see on the program. I was going to go over to do Pete Steele, but I just didn't have the chance to. But yeah, I did go see Typo.
Oh wow.
Maybe like a year or two before he passed away. I saw him at the New Ritz. No, at Roseland with Cold Chamber.
Nice.
Oh wow, man. I tell you what, I'm sorry. I listened to Cold Chamber. He did so much better with Devil Driver after that band.
Yeah, I forgot he did do Devil Driver.
I forget.
Yeah,
it makes Cold Chamber sound like the fucking Beach Boys, man. I swear to God. If you haven't listened
to us talking about what does all this metal? Get back to the politics. Well, let's get back to the Downset.
Yeah, we should.
You was gonna say something about Downset, and now we can hear you.
Oh, I was just reacting because that was just one of the bands that I listened to back in the day. I remember they were big. A buddy of mine when I was in the Navy got me into them. And, the first time I heard them, I kind of didn't like them. And I had the same reaction you guys were talking about. Like, it sounds like they're ripping off Rage. But the more he repeats anger, hostility towards the opposition, the more you start to bob your head. And you just, it's like this slow roll to really appreciating them. They're a great band.
Yeah, man, you're going to make me mad. I'm going to have to download, we're going to have to end the show with that song.
You know what we got to do since I'm here, and we're going to switch gears to politics soon, right? Remind people, we talk about music a lot here, and the reason why we can't play this, I mean, I would love to click on Downset right now and introduce some revolutionary sad music. I would love to click on a button and play some old school metal for y'all. But we can't pay for them. Those are the kinds of things that well-financed, well-produced production companies do. They don't have to run out to their car because of a bad internet. So, but it's working now, and we make it work here with Revolution Radio, and we use every penny. And I know we can donate to One People's Project, which is a 501c. You can go to www.onepeoplesproject.com. And please make a donation because, that's going to directly reflect in what we can bring you here in our production values and our graphics and our internet speed and connections. It does go a long way. That's what pays the bills. And right now, we got to skimp and save a little bit on the internet connection here at Revolution Radio Studios. And that's why I'm in my car. But of course, I can smoke weed in my car. So.
And, by the way, I just wanted to mention, yeah, we also have merch, so we can have, so you can also get something for your money. Luis Enrique Marquez says, "Give, give, give." Much love to Luis.
Thank you, Luis.
Is my boy out of Portland, and he is in a hospital right now. He had a massive heart attack.
Shout out to Luis. Get better, buddy.
My love to him right now. He's been out there in the front lines for a very long time, and I just got to show him love and tell him, yo, get well very soon. I mean, he was telling me some fucking horror stories earlier today.
Luis was on the show.
Why I'm putting his business out there in the streets because he put it up on Twitter.
Yeah, so Luis was on the show.
Yes, that's right. Good grief, how can I fucking forget that shit? Yes, Luis was on the show.
Luis, we send our love, brother. We send our love. Stay safe, get better.
Yeah, I mean, and he says he'll be at Amaranth. So, I mean, for those who don't know, the American Renaissance Conference is still going to happen on November 12th to the 14th. We're still trying to get those knuckleheads from overseas from coming into the country. But go to idavox.com and check it and check out our sidebar, and you'll see all the information about that event and what you can do if you can't be there, because we really gotta help Tennessee out with this bullshit, because this is going on too long and it's going too far, to be real.
Let me ask you, just can you back up just a minute? Now you had mentioned trying to stop. And we've talked about it on the show over the last couple of weeks and months. I know that. But as far as keeping these people out of the country, can you give us a little actionable stuff, like what's going on? Are we contacting the State Department?
Yes,
what's going on that we're trying to get?
Yeah. Truth be told, all you have to do is contact your Congress people. Now, Bonnie Watson Coleman is my congressperson, and she hasn't gotten back to me yet about this because I wrote a letter. I wrote a snail mail letter. I'm going to hit them up at some point because I think it's really important that people do jump on this and find out what are our elected officials going to do about neo-Nazis coming into the country to basically do a presentation to our neo-Nazis and neo-fascists here.
Spread more of their lies and their misinformation.
I mean, in addition, as I keep pointing out, and as I pointed out on MSNBC, one of the guys that's going to be speaking at this conference, Vincent James Fox, was at the Capitol on January 6th. He didn't get arrested, although rumor has it that he was inside the Capitol. You know who else was inside the Capitol? Oh, I'll get back to him in a minute. I'll get back to let me just start to say straight up. This is the kind of thing that concerns us about, and when with these knuckleheads trying to get some sort of freedom insurrectionist thing going, as failing miserably.
Thank God.
As failing miserably. We really don't need them to get any more juice than they already have. We're going to talk about them today because last weekend they tried to do a nationwide people doing freedom insurrectionist rallies all over the country in various spots. The organizer of said rally couldn't even muster up maybe 10 people at his own thing in his hometown in South Carolina.
Good.
The largest group was Arizona. They had 50.
All right. Figures.
We had here in New Jersey and Trenton, probably somewhere in the lines of 15, 16, and speaking of anger, hostility towards the opposition, we got a little video for you.
Oh,
You're going to want to watch this one.
Let's roll the tape.
Know it in your hearts. Respect the one to lead us on to a better world to come. So let's stand beside him, walk beside him. Don't be so afraid. The changes in the USA will make us proud again.
All right, so I'm making some observations. This guy's singing?
Yes, he's singing. His name is Ray. He's singing a song called
Respect is called upon. Thank you. I'll leave some cards here if you want to check out my music.
Yeah, buy his single. Ladies and gentlemen, his new record going straight to drywall. It'll never be gold. It's going straight to plywood. So
but the fun now begins because she starts reading a letter from someone who's locked up right now.
The music videos
Ray Dijon.
Yeah, but I had his
Let's now been reading some letters from prisoners and their families.
So the guy he's reading about is in jail right now because on January 6th he allegedly
This is
tasered
from
cops.
inmate 37H160.
You should consider himself
My name
fucking
is
lucky.
Alan Beerley. I'm
Are all these people
54 and
identified?
I'm from Fleetwood, PA.
I don't have.
I'm
I don't
divorced,
know
but I
these
still am close
don't
with
have
my
any
son, stepchildren, and step-grandkids. I was volunteering at a
But here's
farm
where the fun
animal
begins. I'm just
rescue
gonna keep quiet.
and wildlife rescue part-time. Also, after years of looking for a home church, I found one and was planning on becoming a member. But coronavirus changed all of that early in 2020. I spent most of the year secluded, alone, and depressed.
Yeah, on QAnon forums.
These are the kinds of people they take advantage of. Though. Honestly, I feel bad for that guy right there for a quick second.
Hold on. You should be. You got Proud Boys on this placard. You should be.
You're embarrassing.
Embarrassing?
Yeah,
This is embarrassing. No, let's talk about embarrassing here. No, let's talk about embarrassing. No, there will be no one's been respectful. No one's being respectful.
You don't have to sit
You
there
guys
and
went into that Capitol and did things you
know
will
what,
never
my
be.
friend?
Don't put hands on anybody. Don't
Let
put
me tell
hands
you,
on
my friend. Let me
anybody.
tell you, my friend. You will wake up and you're going to be looking like
You
a
are
fool.
sleeping, man. You are sleeping. You guys are a joke.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You will
You
wake
guys
up,
are
my friend.
sleeping.
And when it all comes out,
So you want me to be woke?
And remember this conversation.
You want me to be woke?
Remember this conversation. We're going to call the police because you know what?
No one's
You're
gonna-
interrupting the thing here, okay? Step to the back if you don't fucking like what's going on.
I
Back
don't like
off.
what's going on, and I'm staying right here.
Well, then
because-
keep your mouth shut and be respectful.
I'll tell you a story.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story.
Back off, lady. Back off.
Just be
okay?
happy that
Back
we're
off.
here because we augmented your crowd.
Well, then back off and then be respectful, okay?
You know what happened on that day? Somebody died from South River.
Oh, then back off.
No,
and
that
be
was the guy.
respectful.
That was the cop. He died. He's from South River.
Yeah?
Okay.
Where
He
he
was
died
one
from?
of y'all.
Where he died
Always
from?
remember him.
If they said a stroke.
Can you let her do
Where did he
her
die from? Where do you think he died from?
I don't know what he died
Okay,
from
where
because
did
they
he
didn't
die
say yet.
Okay.
But I do know
Where
that
did he
two
die from?
people, also
Listen
from
to
Somerset,
You
also
people
from New
are
Brunswick.
whack. You know how
I said
whacked you
that-
are. You know how whacked you are. You're so brainwashed and whacked.
You're
You know
wearing a
what I'm
guys
MAGA
are
hat and
mentally
talking
ill.
about your
Yeah,
brainwash?
exactly.
Brainwash?
What's your name?
Oh no, we're not.
Why don't you just back off, lady?
No one has to back off. You should have
Well,
backed
then
off
you
a long
shut the
time
hell
ago.
up and let us have our
You
thing
should
here.
have backed
Back
off.
the fuck
You
off.
should have backed off a
This had nothing
long
to do.
time ago.
You came
You
at
really
us.
need to back off
You came
now.
at us. One of you grabbed my phone. You are the ones that became aggressive.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, you shouldn't really touch the phone, man.
Now,
You
what
really
did I
shouldn't have
tell
done
you? What did I tell you about judging people
This
book by
event
the
is
cover?
officially over.
What did I
You
tell
can
you
all
about
go
that?
They
home.
clearly don't
This was over before it began.
Nobody said your
Do you know?
time.
Wait, do you know if the police ever warned the crowd one time in Washington?
Oh, come on. You're coming up with technicalities to defend
But yeah,
yourself?
but
you talking about
yeah,
warning them?
At the White House,
Warning.
at the White House, they got sued. The Capitol Police got sued for not allowed enough public address. Okay, so
You're not
nobody
allowing a
knew.
public address.
There's a
The fuck is he
more
talking
than what you're talking
You
about.
guys got
Sorry for your
technicalities
friend.
coming up the wazoo,
Sorry for
but they're
your
still
friend.
in jail, man. They are still in jail and they're gonna stay there.
Well, and then
This crowd, these idiots right here, are never gonna get out.
All right, well, that's not.
They're
that's
never
against
getting
our-
out
that's
because
against
they're
our
involved in a whole bunch of other things. They got a whole bunch of other things. They organized, they tried to organize an insurrection. Those assholes are going down.
Such a fool. He'll wake up.
Do we know this
He's
goof
so
in the red
embarrassed
hat?
about this conversation we had today.
You know, conservatives always say that and they never embarrass us, except for probably
Well,
now.
it'll happen, my friend. It'll happen, my friend. Okay.
How come you have
How old do we have to get before it happens?
All right, just-
How come you have
They
that
were
mask
telling me
on?
that when I was in college.
How come you
I
have
am
that mask
53
on?
now.
How come you have that mask on? How come you have a mask on?
Pandemic. Mine broke.
You know what? You know why? Because
Do you think
unlike,
masks work?
I think that I
Do you
will
think masks
because I'm
stop
actually,
the
believe it or not, respecting you.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, because I'm actually vaccinated. I don't need to wear the mask. But why would I trust? Why would I trust people who get their information?
You think that masks work?
Do you think that masks work?
I know masks don't work.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because there's been 70 years of randomized controlled trials.
70 years of randomized. So does it work for surgeons?
Do you know what those masks
Surgeons
are?
used to wear these, basically
You know
wear these masks to
why?
protect.
So they don't dribble into a wound site.
Oh, brother. So in other
So
words, what
masks
you're
work.
saying to me is that when you're wearing a mask,
You were
you
amazing.
don't spread your disease. Hold on. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that.
Back the fuck off. Because if
I backed
it
off.
gets violent, you're going to get hurt. I'm telling you
You
right
think
now.
you're gonna hurt me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Get out of here.
That's why your ass is walking away and I'm not.
Because I'm not going to cut Bob with you, dude.
You are bothering with me. You are still coming
the fuck off.
No, I will not.
Well, swing at me.
I certainly will not. You're not going to beat my
Why's
ass.
he got
You're
Proud
going
Boys
to
on his
tell me
sign?
that you're going to
Why
beat
you got
my
white
ass, but not
supremacy
do
on
it.
So I can beat your ass.
I'm giving you the shot now. All you got is air and opportunity right now, bitch.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
All right. Okay, what happened? Tell me. I'm interested. Tell me, I'm interested.
That's all they have is American flags. That we're just handing out American flags and telling
American
people.
flag postcards.
Jesus.
It would have been funny if we burned one of those things in front.
No, I mean, what kills me about the guy, he's like some out of work deli worker, talking like he's tough, like he's gonna do something. The dude can't do 10 push-ups. It's like, guy, you're not scaring anybody. Back off.
No, but here's the fun part.
Everybody there looks like some retiree. It's ridiculous.
If you notice, in those 7 minutes, you saw the only 2 people that they attacked, the small women.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. He wasn't saying anything to you. He wanted to
That's a pattern.
woman.
I've seen that at so many right-wing events. Some old drunk douchebag picking on a woman. It's really it's almost like they're trained on it. It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay, man. I mean, you never know. These guys are pretty wacky, dude. I mean, when the guy, I'm sorry, I lost my mind when he said that master to stop people from dribbling into an open wound. I mean, it's like, I may be laughing. I'm be giggling about that all day tomorrow because it just really shows, not only are most of these people mentally ill, but they're just dumb. I mean, they're just dumb.
Well,
and they're gonna make up whatever to make it up.
We gotta find. I would really like to know who Happy Boy in the blue shirt was because, I think I've seen him before.
Yeah.
At other things. And I don't want to say where because I don't want to put him someplace where he wasn't. But I'm willing to bet that every last one of these people that was there has a paper trail. And I want to find that paper trail because I really would like to know who these characters were because these folks are in Jersey. I am going to see them again. We are going to see them again.
So
and to that. Well, go on, Christian.
I'm sorry, Darryl. No, I was going to say, so you can confirm that they had Proud Boys that they were showing up for on that little poster board that they had? Those were actual identified, you had identified Proud Boys?
Oh, no. I knew exactly who everybody was. I mean, when I did the close-up on the placard, those are basically the top folks in the Proud Boy scene. There was Ethan Nordine was on that, Joe Biggs was on that. I mean, it's basically a number of Proud Boys that was in that picture when she started crying and said, "I'm sorry," and I said, "You should be." There are Proud Boys on that placard. That's who I was pointing at. That's who I was referring to. Also, when I said they're never getting out, I mean, chances are they might. Some of them might. I mean, especially if they turn state's evidence and all that. But that's one of the reasons why the Proud Boys are on borrowed time because they're locked up right now. Why the hell their founder is still in the country when he's a Canadian national is beyond me. Write to your Congress people about that one too. I mean, our immigration laws are for shit considering what they did to Haiti.
Yep.
Have you and if Gavin McInnes says anything about what's going on at the border, remind him of where his fucking position is.
I thought he left the Proud Boys.
Yeah, I thought he went.
We got to nip that one in the fucking bud.
Yeah.
He actually said when he left the Proud Boys that he was leaving. He was leaving the Proud Boys because he wanted to make the pending cases of the knuckleheads that assaulted folks in New York make it easier for them. But he's never really disassociated from the Proud Boys. 7 months after he left in November 2018, he was at a Proud Boy rally in DC at Freedom Plaza.
I was about to say, is he active? Like, is he doing? Is he in the media at all? Is he doing anything that we need to keep an eye on? Like, I mean, or is he just kind of like
I think he still does this thing from time to time media-wise because that's what he is. He's a media hoe. But the fact of the matter is he's not disassociated from the Proud Boys. He may not be an official member anymore, but he was still the founder.
Yeah.
That's your social circle. Those are his buddies.
Those are his people. Those are his people. That's his family. You know.
I know he was one of the founders of Vice, and I saw like about a year or two ago he was lamenting the fact that his friends didn't want to associate with him because of his association with the Proud Boys. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, if you pal around with white supremacists, you're one too, right?
Yeah.
Like what you said. I mean, Daryle, you said in Germany, it's if there's a Nazi sitting at a table and 3 people sit down with them, you got 4 Nazis at a table.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot. I mean, I will say it again. I mean, it's just a general principle thing at this point. When MS-13 was founded in LA, but their founders got kicked back over to El Salvador. Same rule applies.
Yeah.
Same rule applies. So truth be told, Gavin McInnes got to go. Proud Boys are already going to go. A lot of them are going to probably be locked up before we're all done. They're already getting shot.
Yeah.
So people and stabbed. People are sick of them. I mean, there are a bunch of nerds who thought that they can start a gang, but they're pissing off the real gangs, number one, and people who don't like fascists, and they're not a real gang.
Yeah.
Which means they're really getting their asses kicked.
Yeah, they're just middle-class white guys in Hawaiian shirts. Like that's
no, that's the Boogaloo.
Oh well, I'm sorry. I'm getting my fashion confused. Yeah, all right.
But see, but that was my day, and I definitely want to find out who Happy Boy in the blue shirt was, because I'm sure he has been around. I'm sure he's got stories to tell.
I'm sure he's got a job.
I don't want to hear those stories. So, but I'm really curious about everybody that was there. There's video that I didn't show, only because I got to protect my people. Unfortunately, some of my people were in this video, but they were good. I didn't linger on them, but it was more important knowing. Well, one thing I'm glad they didn't. The other knuckleheads didn't wear masks, because now we can ID them.
Yeah.
Remember, I am the father of Downset. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, it just cracks me up because they think that they're so smart. So they all have like science degrees. They're all masters of politics and law, and it's always like the same talking points, or I mean, I see it on social media. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what I'm talking about, buddy. All right, yeah, but that's who these people are. I mean, to be there at that and to take that farce seriously. I mean, those people are just far gone at this point. That was a farce, and I'm glad you were there, Daryle, to just laugh in their face and
as I told them, it was a good thing. I'm quite sure they were happy we were there, because we augmented them, their numbers. We
doubled their numbers,
and we didn't even have a lot of people with us.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I just realized something about the 11th, and we was talking about kill switch engage. By the way, Howard Jones.
That's the 10th. That's the 10th.
The 10th, rather.
Yeah, Monday.
Because I know that the 11th. Howard Jones is now in a band called Light the Torch. I just wanted to throw that out there. I meant to bring that up. Check out Light the Torch. They are nice. Yeah, October 10th at PNC. Oh, in Homedale. Oh, good. I got a car. I can go.
That's like you could come to my house and hang out for a little, because I'm like 15 minutes from there.
All right,
I'm
cool.
right in
let
Tinton
me see
Falls.
what I'm doing. Let me see if I have time, because I'll probably be working. I do have a day job, So,
yeah, I know. Right.
It's on Sunday. And I do go to work at 5 a.m. So
all right.
So let's see how it goes. But the other thing I want to point out is that there will be a march with more people coming up, and I got to make sure I clear with this, because People's Organization for Progress is starting a march from Newark, from Montclair. I'm sorry, from Montclair on October 11th, all the way down to Trenton.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you want to see a real rally, if you want to see a real march, it's against police brutality, and it's against all the bullshit that we've been dealing with for the past 4 or 5 years, especially. And they're going to meet up in Trenton. They're probably going to need support on the along the march route. So everybody, I'll give you more information of that as I go along. It's spur of the moment off the top of my head right now, and I'm in Raleigh, so all my information is back home. So when I get back home next week I'll have more information. Now, if everything works out, the show is going to be semi pre-recorded, but I will come on live to at least tell you that much about what's going on with that rally. You can find some information about it on Facebook and everything. But we got a few minutes. Should we just I am of the mind because we went long on the music. We went long on the music. So 40 Ways to Fight Fascists. I'd like to really delve into that. And if we can get some folks that actually put that one together on the show, it'd be great. I'd like to try to talk to them about that. Let me talk and see who if we can get Spencer Sunshine on the show and see what's up.
No problem. Do you have a favorite tactic, Daryle, in dealing with the fascists? One that's one of your go-tos? I mean, you are the godfather of doxing. Right? Well, that's the godfather or the father. Are you the godfather or the father?
I am the Lord above us all. No, I guess I'm the father of doxing according to the Washington Post. I gotta say, according to the Washington Post, because it does sound like I'm being vainglorious here, and okay. I don't do that kind of thing. Even though Halloween's coming up, I will wear a powdered wig and colonial type uniform, just clothes, just so I can play up the whole father of part of this. I will do that on our matter of fact. Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold up.
You should get one of those hats that like the Pope has, and we'll call you like the father of doxing. You're like an old priest and just wear one of those big Pope like a bishop.
I wore a nun's habit on Halloween years ago, and I just want to avoid lampooning
religions.
Religions like the plague. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Oftentimes it's kind of
someone's going to talk to me about that later if you catch my drift.
Yeah, that'll come back to you.
Okay, Halloween is on a Sunday. We're not going to be on, but I'll wear it for the. I'll wear it on the 26th. I'll see if I can find me a powder wig and all that. I promise you, I will do this. Y'all better dress up for Halloween.
I came back in to hear powdered wig. Where did this go? I left here for a minute, man. I just had to.
The wig might not be powdered, but I say we all dress up for the Halloween show.
Okay. I'll wear my luchador mask.
Now you have to.
All right.
Oh, I got to check something else out too. When is the 22nd of October? Oh, yes, a Friday. All right, so 22nd is the National Night Out Against Police Brutality.
Oh, cool.
So put that on your calendar. It has been something that has been going on for a good 30 years, almost 30 years. and we want to keep sparking that up. I'm going to put something up on the Ida Vox timeline just to remind people that October 22nd, National Night Out Against Police Brutality. Look for something called the Stolen Lives Project. I once showed a book of that was put out by the Stolen Lives Project, and it will give you all kinds of information of the origins of this day. Yes, it was put together by members of the RC people. It's a really, 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 really good project. I will endorse this.
I used to like getting drunk and listening to Bob Avakian speeches. That was my. Especially like back in the day. I know
people have issues with the RCP from time to time.
They could be annoying, but Bob Avakian, there's nobody like him in America.
I've had good times with RCP, believe it or not. I'm not gonna diss them. They do good work from time to time. Sometimes I have disagreements, but hey, I have disagreements with people I sleep with. So
I mean, Bob Avakian, he's the master that's going to solve all the problems. But I mean, honestly, the guy, he's got some good stuff to say. I mean, his best book is probably, it's called Democracy, Can't We Do Better Than That? And it's basically a critique of every democracy that's ever lived. And the point of his book is wherever there have been democracies, whether it's ancient Greece, whether it's the United States today, you've always had an oppressive state. So what he's saying is democracy, quote unquote, doesn't necessarily mean freedom or inequality, that even the states or the countries that call themselves democracies or free can still be anything but.
Hey, I'm an anarchist because I believe you have to create your own path. Not a shining one, but
I think I'm becoming. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I've always said I was a Marxist, man. I may be coming. I don't know. I'm up here by myself in the middle of nowhere, with land and shit, and area where there's a lot of guns. It's
Just don't go libertarian on me.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, although I will admit that being a white man who owns land, I'm well in danger of that. But I'll keep an eye on myself for any signs.
No.
Yeah.
I wish we could have the folks that were on in that documentary, Anarchism in America, just so we can have a nice little discussion about what anarchism is and what libertarian is in relation to anarchism. Because that documentary, it's an old one going back about 1980 that speaks directly to it. I don't have a real issue with libertarianism. I do have an issue with what they've done to it, what some libertarians have done to it. Those right-wing libertarians, or more to the point, those right-wing libertarians that that don't say that they're right-wing, the ones that are too chicken shit that call themselves conservative.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, so as an American, I like to just call it anarchism, because they'll be like, oh, I'm a libertarian socialist. I'm like, this isn't Norway. This isn't England. Once you use the term libertarian, people already associate that with like the conservatives and like the capitalism worship. And even though it is true, right? There's authoritarian socialism, democratic socialism. There is libertarian socialism. It's easier to say anarchism, because once you start throwing around different types of socialism, words like libertarian, to me, I always felt that it's confusing.
Well, all these things. See, I think that's part of the problem with America, is that all these things are different. There are nuances to these thought, and we can get along. I mean, but there's some history between communists and anarchists going back to some revolutions where a lot of people were killing each other. And so, I think it's important that, as we move forward, we understand the distinctions and we talk about them more. I mean, I've been into it a little bit over the last few weeks. On my TikTok, I've tried to maybe talk about maybe Marxism a little bit more and try to make some definitions, because I think if we understand the differences, then we can come together. We can have those debates. Like Daryle said, we disagree on some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I've fallen back into my old. I was an anarchist. I became a Marxist, and now I'm finding that I may be getting back more into the anarchist mode of thought. In that, I just don't involve myself in the politics and the elections. And Marxists seem to have a penchant for that. Marxists seem to really want to, they follow bourgeois politics a lot, and that fucked me up, man. And I feel like since I've disconnected from elections and what the bourgeoisie want me to do as far as political activity, I've cast that aside and started to work with Daryle more and you more and Leah more and my donors and my sponsors and all them. And
but I'll be fair.
That's more anarchist to me. That feels more anarchist.
I mean, there's room for all of it, to be real. I mean, it's I think I always look at Marxism as a nice little map, if you will, maybe a blueprint or such. But there are times when you got to look at that blueprint and say, okay, we don't need this. We don't need to do that. And that's where the anarchism comes in. We don't have to basically follow the book entirely. We don't have to basically we don't have to go by the book. We don't have to always go by the book.
Well, I think,
So the truth is, I don't have a problem with communism. I don't have a problem with Marxism.
All my best friends are communists.
Yeah, a lot of my best friends.
I'd say I am a communist, but I admit that communists, particularly in America, they're a little fucked up, man. I mean, there's really no big communist party, and honestly, they idolize and they worship Russian revolutionaries. And you had mentioned we got to look at the playbook. There really was no playbook. Lenin was running back and forth between Switzerland as he thought he may or may not have power. The Bolsheviks and different groups were armed and marching in the streets. It was a big fucking mess, and the Bolsheviks wound up on top at the end. I think there's no playbook for this shit. But the more we understand each other and the more we talk about revolutionary thought, I think the more we may be able to develop our own American revolution.
Hey, all I know is Nestor Magnum would have shot all of us.
Yeah, wow.
Every last one of us.
He led the was it Croatia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he fought in World War II. I mean, a lot of those people in Eastern Europe.
I believe it was
World War I, and he tried to carve out I would say a state, but I guess it wasn't a state. of Eastern Europeans. But there's a really good book that our fans can check out if you're watching this. It's by George Orwell, and it's not 1984, and it's not Animal Farm. It's called Homage to Catalonia, and he was sent by the BBC to go cover the Spanish Civil War. And when he got there, he realized fascism wasn't going to go away. It was only ever going to grow. So he decides to stay and fight against the Spanish fascists in Spain. And he details from his personal experience the infighting between the communists and the anarchists at that time.
I'm going to say right quick, I just looked him up on Wikipedia because I want to make sure if it was actually Croatia. I think it was the Ukraine.
It might have been Ukraine.
Because he's Ukrainian. He was Ukrainian.
Okay. Then it was the Ukraine, yeah.
Because he was in the Russian Civil War.
Ukraine has had a lot of back and forth as far as their kind of
attachment a lot of animosity towards
the
Russia
Soviet Union. Yeah, there's been a lot there over the last 200 years since since
and
World
still
War
going through shit.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
All righty. We went long because we came in late, anyways. So
and this is fun, man.
And this is fun, but we're gonna end it off fun if it's okay. I got Downset queued up.
All right, let's do it.
No, we can't. No, don't do that. The
All
copyright, they'll take down our stream and all that.
On YouTube,
Donate.
yeah,
Tell people donate. Give us some production value here. Look a brother up, man.
All right, look up Anger. You guys have to look it up for yourself. I have to remove this from the studio.
Find Downset.
I'm gonna see if we can get how should I say, I want to find out how much BMI or BMG, whatever the hell that thing called, how much it costs to subscribe.
It's a lot.
Then you really are gonna have to donate.
It's a lot.
So we can play.
It's actually for the size of Revolution Radio, it's not unreachable. I know what the number was. I said, but I never actually got a quote from them. But I'll tell you what. If everybody listening to us and watching us on the live stream gave like $10, we could make stuff like that happen. So,
Yeah, so and truly, I really would like to make that happen. I mean, we've played copywritten music on here early on. But like Brian said, we actually have to stop because we don't want to get our behinds kicked.
Yeah.
Those algorithms catch you every time.
Here is legit. I mean, and by the way, Midnight Transit, they're probably and Chambers' crew, Dylan Chambers and his crew, Midnight Transit, and his father will be probably out and about sometime now that things are being lifted, and we'll probably be able to start seeing them play.
Yeah, I'd like to go see them if they came out here.
Without further ado, just want to say, Luis, get better. I hope you're still there. Man, I mean, he actually said, Luis Marquez actually said that he had, his heart had, almost the bottom half of his heart had no blood in it. That's not good, but in any case, get better, Luis. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Christian, for being on the show. Everybody, watch us next week. Hopefully, we'll have our guests set up and ready to go. And then, like I said, check out the music that we were talking about. And we will see y'all next week with some more fun and excitement. We'll have hopefully some music that we can play because that's our next guest is a musical guest. So, all right, I've spoken enough. Goodbye, y'all. Peace. Yes, you can do that. Yeah, go ahead. Go back to it. Oh, good grief. Yeah, I'll try this again. Peace.